Welcome back to 360 Sports. I'm Kassie, joined alongside Cade, Cora, and Ryan, and we are super excited to be talking about hockey today. So we're going to jump right in to talking about the wild card, which is like 2 weeks away from finishing, and it's super close, or at least the East is super close. The West might be a little bit more decided. So what are kind of your guys' thoughts on who's going to make it? Cade, we can start with you.
Well, my first thought is this is the most HD picture I've ever seen in my entire life. My second thought is it's such an interesting year because this is the closest I've seen it in a long time. I know last year it came down to last week, couple days too. But the reason it's so close this year is because the East is just bad. Like there are 4 or 5 teams fighting for the last 2 spots, 3 spots, and literally they all don't even have. I think the Islanders have 85 points, and that's good enough for third in the Metro. The Blues and somebody else. The Blues and who's the other team out on the other side?
The Blues they've got 83.
Yeah, they have more points. They have more points than anybody that's fighting for a spot right now. The East is just bad, but still it's exciting. My second point on it, the Islanders have been called boring for the past couple of years. This is the year they're more exciting than any other team they're fighting against, though. Do you even know who the Capitals starting goalie is?
Absolutely.
It's Charlie Lindgren. Who's Charlie Lindgren? Dylan Strome is their leading point getter. You do not want to see the Capitals in the playoffs. The Islanders, at least they have some goal scoring. At least they have, stud goalies with Varlamov and Sorokin. Either one of those guys can go out. The other teams, the Flyers are on a 7-game losing streak. Who cares? The Penguins, they're old. Who cares? Give me the Islanders and give me the Red Wings.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with your Red Wings pick. I mean, looking at it now, you've got 3 teams in the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Washington Capitals, and the Philadelphia Flyers, who all have 83 points.
Yeah.
I mean, the Red Wings have 84. I think the Red Wings have a better team. They've got a washed-up Patrick Kane, even though I love Patrick Kane, and Alex DeBrincat. Like, you can't really go wrong with those two on your team. I don't know if they're both on the first line. I think Patrick Kane's on the second line. But, I mean, the Red Wings are going to be really good, and I think they can make a run in the playoffs in the East. And in the West, I mean, as much as I hate to say it,
it's kind of decided.
Yeah, it's really decided. I mean, I don't like Vegas. I mean, they're kind of like the Kansas City Chiefs of the hockey world because they always. Well, I'm not going to say always because they've been around for what, like
17, 18?
Yeah, something like that. And like they won last year, and they go on and they're like, oh, are they going to be a wild card team? Are they going to not make it? And then they go to the playoffs and they're the best team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I completely agree that the Red Wings are going to make it. But looking on the board right now, they're going against the Rangers, which that's a little bit, I don't know. Like, looking at some of these matchups, I'm kind of a little bit like, I don't know which one. But I feel like it's just like a toss-up in the East. Like, as all of you guys said, I mean, you kind of took all my points away. But, I mean, East is just, it's an interesting conference. But as the West, I mean, Vegas, obviously, yeah.
I kind of like the West matchups are. Oh yeah, I really like all those matchups. I mean, obviously there's going to be time to change, but I don't know.
In the East, I really like Boston, Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay is always scary. The fact that they're a wild card team going up against Boston, I'd be scared if I was Boston.
I like those Atlantic Division matchups. I just don't know about the Metro. Like the Islanders gave the Hurricanes a little run last year. The Hurricanes are just good, and the Rangers. I mean, they're currently in line for the President's Trophy.
Pretty good, yeah.
So I don't know. But the rest I like. Who knows about the last two? The final 2 spots, I don't know. Those teams are. Who knows?
It's like tough to decide because they're also all like playing each other right now. Like their last 5 games, they're all going to be playing. They're playing like each other. So it's like the Penguins are on a 4-game win streak right now. What if they continue to beat out these teams that are also fighting for the same spot? Like it's so tossed up. So.
Yeah, it's been weird.
Yeah, crazy. But speaking of hockey and playoffs, college hockey is finishing up. So the women's Frozen Four just concluded. Ohio State beat out Wisconsin 1-0. It was a rematch, actually. Like, same score, but Wisconsin won last year. Ohio State won this year.
That's crazy.
What are kind of your thoughts on Ohio State winning?
Well, I mean, I don't know that much about women's hockey. I know really a little bit about Penn State women's hockey, much less Ohio State women's hockey.
I know they're good.
I know they're good, yeah. I know they're the 1 seed. I know that they beat the 2 seed 1-0. But, I mean, Big Ten representation in women's hockey is amazing. I mean, it's awesome to see,
That just tweeted me out. Sorry. They didn't even see
I
that.
saw that on my peripheral. I was like, oh, I don't know
Anyway,
if that's supposed to be
sorry.
there.
I just threw off this whole.
No, but I mean, it's so good to see Big Ten representation in women's hockey. Like, I don't really follow women's hockey that much, but seeing two Big Ten teams battle it out in the championship, like a Big Ten team is winning. So I think that's really cool.
I say it's kind of like the flip-flop. Kind of reminds me of when we were talking to Julie Goff. And when she was talking about that one goal that she did was the 1441. It kind of reminds me of that. But, yeah, I mean, they're both really good.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Penn State lost in the first round. They kind of got, in the randomized spot, they kind of got unlucky. If they would have won, they were facing Wisconsin. So
Yeah, I mean, I know I did a little bit of research because, you got to when you're on air and you read about women's hockey. Don't know that much about it, but I did read, obviously, it's their second championship in the last 3 years for Ohio State. Also, people talk about the transfer portal. I'm going to bring a little transfer portal talk into it. People only focus on it for, football, basketball. Women's hockey, it's a pretty big deal, too. Hannah Bilka, best player on Ohio State, 22 goals, 48 points, a transfer from Boston College. So it gives these girls an opportunity to go somewhere where they can go get a national championship. He's at Boston College for the past 4 years. She transfers first year, gets a championship. So obviously, Penn State, bummer that they lost. That was the first round, right?
Yeah.
So it's a bummer, but congrats to Ohio State. It looks like they're building a little bit of maybe a dynasty over there.
Yeah.
And you brought up Boston College, so we're going to move on to the men's side of things for the Frozen Four. So that'll take place this weekend. Denver against Boston University, Boston College against Michigan. Boston College is ranked number 1. Boston University is ranked number 2. Denver's ranked number 3. Michigan's unranked. What are your thoughts and predictions, Ryan?
I hope Michigan loses.
Yeah.
I just hope Michigan loses. Any sport that Michigan is playing, whoever they're playing, I just hope they lose. I do not like Michigan.
It's a fair take.
They do have a good team, though. I will give them that. They did upset the Big Ten champion, Michigan State, but I mean, going up against, I don't really know anybody on Boston College. All I know is Macklin Celebrini on Boston University, future Chicago Blackhawk. But I mean, I think Boston College easily takes it against Michigan, but they could provide some upset potential almost, but against the number 1 seed, I don't think they're going to.
I low-key want Boston College and Boston University
Yes.
for the Battle of Boston or Boston Mania for the final championship.
That would be awesome.
That would be crazy. I kind of want that.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I don't care about any of these matchups as long as it's Boston College in the
Absolutely.
end. I mean, that match in the championship, I don't know, A, if that's ever happened, or B, when the last time that's happened. If it's happened, I should probably know that. But that's what I'm rooting for here. I mean, Michigan and Boston both lost in the Frozen Four last year, too, so they both obviously want their own redemption, but I'm rooting for Boston College.
I agree. I think it'd be interesting, too, because Boston College has won, in the regular season, they only lost to Boston University once, which was in the Beanpot.
Yeah.
So it's in the big games, they kind of, not fell, but they lost to a team they probably could have beat.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be interesting. It's a little rematch.
I mean, hockey is one of those sports where it's anything can happen.
Right,
'Cause
exactly.
You could take a slap shot from the point with everybody in the middle screening the goalie and get 4 deflections and a goal.
I mean, look at the
Exactly.
Panthers-Bruins last year.
Exactly.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was getting inspirational there.
So we're going to move on now. We're going to guess rankings, the NHL 24 edition. So they did this for the MLB last week. So now we're going to guess for these players. So we'll see who's first.
I have not played much NHL 24 this year, so I don't know if I'll be very good at this.
Ooh. Lars Eller.
Lars,
Okay.
what is this, 2017? Why are we throwing Lars Eller up on the screen? This is ridiculous.
I'm not even going to lie, I had no idea who that was.
He's
when
like
popped
He was
up.
a Canadian for a while, Capital for a little bit. I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Yeah,
I'll
I've
go
heard that.
78.
I think I'm going to stick right around there. If he's been in the league for this long and he's not relevant, but
Oh, nobody else gets the guess. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
That's
Okay, well,
higher
I guess
than-
me too.
higher
Yeah.
higher than I thought it would be.
Well, we can move on now. Jonathan Quick.
Oh, Jonathan
Okay.
Quick. I know who Jonathan Quick is. He's been playing good this year.
Have they been updating the rankings? Is that?
I think they have.
Okay. Because he has been good this year.
He has been really good this year.
84.
That's what
Yeah,
I
I'd
was
say
gonna
84, 85.
85, yeah.
He's the most. became like the most winningest
Yeah.
U.S. American
Yeah.
goalie ever, right?
Yep.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Let's see.
Okay.
Another
Okay.
82.
Okay.
So we're only doing 82s today. Is
There's
that
I'm
right?
Okay,
sensing a
okay.
pattern here.
So I'm guessing 82 regardless of who this is.
82.
82.
No, probably like
No.
what, 94?
Yeah,
95?
I'd say like
Yeah.
a 93, 94. They always kind of like,
I'll go 95.
yeah. Attaboy.
Wow.
Ooh, that was good. That was good.
Not
Alright.
gonna brag. Not gonna brag. What's McDavid?
McDavid's
they-
a 99.
But do they
There's
do
no way.
99s? I don't know
Yes,
if
they do.
Oh, Carter Verhaeghe. This is a sore subject for me.
Why?
Why is this a sore
Why?
subject?
Because he was like just a random prospect thrown into a deal with the Islanders a couple years ago for Michael Grabner. And we had him, and then we traded him for like a no-name goalie, I think like Kristers Godleskis or something. And then all of a sudden he turned into like a 40-goal scorer literally out of thin air. And I don't know why it
Change of
happened, how it
scenery.
happened. Steroids might be. No, just kidding. I didn't say that. I don't know, but I'll go 86.
I'm just going to
88.
stick with 82.
Yeah, I'm going to go
82.
82, yeah.
82?
I don't know. He's a 40-goal scorer.
Yeah.
What in the world? What? He's
What I say,
He's a 40
the
goal
strategy
scorer.
works 75.
Whatever.
It works all the time. Every
Well,
single time.
How many do we? 75%?
Yeah, 75%.
So the strategy
3 out of 4.
works 100% of the time, 75%.
Yep.
That.
Yeah.
That, exactly.
Yep. So now we're gonna. So 9 teams have been eliminated. So now we each kind of picked one, and we're gonna defend them because they might have got a little bit of a bad rap.
Putting
So-
Joe Paterno up here is
Ooh,
crazy.
Cade, I
That's
believe you're
wild.
first to
Putting
defend
Joe
your
Paterno
team.
up.
That is crazy.
I don't. That had to have been left over from a different show.
There's no way.
Anyway, moving on. What in the world is that? What are we doing here, guys? So I kind of had a tough time deciding my team because the teams that aren't in the playoffs are bad. Like, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. But I did the Ottawa Senators for one reason. I mean, this team is stacked with young talent. Tim Stützle, Brady Tkachuk, although it seems like I feel like he's on both the Tkachuks have been on the trading block the past couple of years. Matthew got traded. But anyway, back to this. Brady Tkachuk, good young player. Sanderson. Batherson's another guy that came out of nowhere and started scoring goals like a madman. Their problem was goaltending. You look at both their goalies, both don't even sniff a 900 save percentage. I mean, that's disgusting. You need a goalie. Find a goalie, you'll get a little bit better. Who else? They traded for Jacob Chikrin. I mean, people thought the Sens were going to be good this year. They weren't. Get a goalie, get a goaltender, and I think they can make the playoffs next
Didn't they
year.
have DeBrincat too, right? The
They had
Blackhawks-
DeBrincat. They traded him. They have Shane Pinto. He'll probably leave in the offseason, though.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Get a goalie. Period. I don't know.
Slay.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, Cora, you're next.
Ooh, I'm next. Okay, so I chose the Philly Flyers. So don't give me a thumbs down. Anyway,
Whoa.
so I think that they had a really good start to the season. With every Philly team, they always have a great start and then they just fumble. They're on a 7 losing streak, and they're not out right now, but they're gonna be out. Let's be
Ooh,
honest here.
That's a
So-
nice take.
I think it's going to be correct. I mean, I can go back into this and confirm it later in, the future. But yeah, I just think they had a really good start, and then they just kind of fumbled down and down, which is basically just what a Philly team would do.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Whatever. Next.
Well, the reason I gave you a thumbs down, I mean, I'm a Blackhawks fan. This is not a biased pick at all. Don't think it's a biased pick. I'm
It's a
choosing the
biased
Blackhawks,
pick.
obviously. Obviously, I'm choosing the Blackhawks. I mean, yeah, they're the worst team in the league, but, Connor Bedard. That's really all the argument I have. I mean, people have seen the future of the Chicago Bedards, because they are the Chicago Bedards. Bedard's the best player on the team. And the goalies suck. Soderblom sucks. I don't really know the stats like you do, Cade, but I doubt our goalies have over
they have
900
You have
save percent.
53 points, or the Blackhawks have 53 points, so they're
I
probably
mean,
not
yeah.
great.
I mean, I remember the Blackhawks glory days, 2012 to 2016, where they won 3 championships.
2010 to 2015.
But I mean, if they do get lucky in the lottery again, because the lottery is rigged for the Blackhawks, they will get Macklin Celebrini and pair him with Connor Bedard, and they will draw people in to be able to say, hey, they have a lot of young forwards. They have a young center, a young forward. I want to go and play with this team. I want to make sure that these guys develop. And hopefully with our GM, our manager, I don't really know what the names. I know we had, was it Quinn Snyder for a while?
That's a basketball coach.
I know. Oh, gosh.
You're on the right track. I have a question for you because the segment is called Sometimes Teams Get Unlucky. They are bad. They're not unlucky.
No, they're
just
unlucky.
bad.
No, they're unlucky.
And they're also on the come up. What about them are on the come up? So you're just relying on the...
They're young. I mean...
Yeah, but they're bad.
Yeah, I know that. But on the come up, they're going to be bad, obviously, for a couple more years. They're going to stock up draft picks.
Okay.
They're going to develop these guys. Connor Bedard is going to get a max super contract.
So Connor Bedard gets the shout out more than the Blackhawks do.
Yes, because he's the best.
Okay, that's all.
I think Connor Bedard
wanted to figure
alone
out.
could win at least one game. I don't
Okay.
think the Blackhawks can win like one game against
All right,
any
I
team
think
in this league.
I think
right
that's
now.
fair. I just wanted to get it clear in my head.
All right, well, now it's my turn. So I also went with a team that's not out, but they're out.
Yeah.
They just lost to the Red Wings. So that puts them like right before everyone starts getting eliminated. But I picked them because they're also very young, so they have a lot of people coming up, but they do fall under pressure sometimes. They start really good in their games. They don't continue that momentum. They have people like Tage Thompson, Bowen Byram. They did trade away their captain. Yikes.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, Dylan Cousins, Rasmus Dahlin. Like, they have all of these key players. I think they just need a new head coach.
Yeah.
Like, they did have, like, that thing at the beginning of the season or something. They had a new coach, but now they're like, oh, he's probably not going to stay. So they need to just rebuild. I think time will tell. If they can rebuild and they can get these key pieces to start really working together, they'll be a great team. They kind of remind me of, like, the Devils before they had their playoff run last year. They had good players, but they were not doing good at all. And now, obviously not this season, they're not doing great, but last season they did good. So I think maybe next year they'll do better if they get a better head coach. I think time will tell for them, though.
I mean, the Sabres would be bad. I mean, they had Jack Eichel on their team at one point.
Yeah.
They traded him away to Vegas.
They still have a good
Right.
team, though.
They
I think
do.
that's a
They
great
do.
point. Coaching,
Yeah,
like
they
maybe
do
a
have
young
a
team
really
like
good
that,
team.
I think it comes down to coaching. Because they've been a team for the past couple of years that's like, oh, look for this team to break out, and they just haven't done it. I think that's coaching.
They also battle with a lot of injuries. Like Jack Quinn, one of their young guys, was like out for a while. Tage Thompson was even out for a little bit too. So injuries are always part of that too. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Now we're going to move on to 360 Sports Moments of the Day. So our first one is about Caitlin Clark. She does stay ringless as the Hawkeyes did
What a bummer.
lose against South Carolina. But does that discredit some of Clark's talent, or do rings not matter?
No.
What are your
I
guys'
mean,
thoughts?
she had, what? She's broken almost every record there has to be.
She has like the most points in
Most
men's and
points in
women's,
D1 history, like men's or women's. Most
Yeah.
points in women's college basketball history. Was it most threes made in
Yeah.
probably in a season and
In a season, yeah.
in a season and not career, right? Or is it career?
I don't know.
Either
Something-
she's,
it's-
either
it's
she's
up
past
there.
it or she's close. But regardless, like everyone will talk about like, especially in the NBA, it's like, oh, dude, like Michael Jordan's got 6 rings, LeBron's got 4. Like everyone thinks rings matter.
They kind of
do. But then again, when you're taking 40 shots, not like 40 shots a game, but she's taking a majority of their shots
Yeah.
a game, and she's continuing to keep the team in the game. It's very
Yeah.
hard to beat a team that's gone 109-3 in their last 3 years.
I mean, she made it there twice.
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
like she's like just shooting the lights out of the ball and they're not going anywhere. They've made it to the championship
Exactly.
back-to-back years. They've gone places. I don't think people will think back and say, "Oh, she doesn't have a ring." She did. She literally has brought so much attention to the women's sport, like the women's game,
If you
and she's
can-
only going to keep doing that.
Yeah, if you compare like 2021, their championship to like 2024, it's like completely different. Like it was dead during 2021, and then now it was completely filled.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it was sold out. It was awesome to see because, I mean, nobody really likes watching the NBA except for like Wells probably because he's a Magic fan. But you know, I mean, she brought so much attention.
Yeah. I mean, there's
to
the
it.
stat.
Like
that game didn't have more viewers, like the most viewers.
It's like the
I
second
think it was
most
the LSU game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the second most watched like non-Super Bowl like event
on ESPN.
On ESPN.
And they've had the higher than an NBA game, right? Or
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
And I mean, it's like, it's they find it so much more entertaining. People find that like seeing Caitlin Clark get the ball and she's like, oh yada yada yada. Like
Caitlin Clark.
I'm just gonna go down and shoot from the logo. People love that.
Yeah.
So
Right. No, I totally agree. I think she's super talented. But we're going to go back to hockey really quick. Tessa Janicki, she represents USA in the women's worlds. I know when Julie was there, she was just trying out.
Yeah.
She did make the team, so that's super fun and exciting for Penn State. Any thoughts, Cora?
I kind of expected it. She's
Yeah.
really good. She's really good. Yeah.
She did last year as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're undefeated right now, so maybe
USA.
US will bring-
USA, baby, come on, USA.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, not related to sports. The total eclipse happened today. Obviously, State College was, overcast and cloudy, but still cool. It won't happen again until 2045.
Wow.
So-
2045, 20 years.
Yeah.
I've been blind this whole show. I stared right at it today. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
How did you do that? There were so many clouds.
Yeah, how?
I couldn't even see it. I tried to
don't
take a
know.
picture on my phone and it
I
was
don't know.
all
I
clouds.
did. I had a telescope. I looked. It was bad. Bad
Yeah, the
idea.
All
telescope.
right.
Almost
yeah.
as honestly, the lights in here might have been brighter than what we saw
Yeah.
today. I'm not gonna lie. I just stared at that
Yeah.
light right there, and genuinely, I did just go blind. But it was cool.
Cade's gonna need the cane soon.
Yeah, I heard.
Walking cane, walking stick.
All funny jokes. Don't look at a solar eclipse.
Yeah.
In 2045, don't be looking at it. I don't know. It's still cool. It was cloudy,
Yeah.
but when you kind of saw it for like every 3 seconds, every 25 minutes, it was cool.
Yeah. I remember, what was it, 2017?
I think
it
the
was
last one?
2017.
Yeah, there was.
I remember I'm sitting in my Spanish class and my teacher's like, oh, like, here's your glasses. Like, you can, like, look right out the window and it's, like, right up there. That was, like,
I was on a beach. I don't know why.
good job. Thank you. Thank you for your input.
Yeah.
Kate. Thank you for,
Wow.
I
You were on
expected it to get darker out than it did. I don't know why I
clouds- the clouds
expected
were
it.
just
Well,
a bummer.
yeah,
Yeah.
The clouds like ruined everything.
whatever. Well, tomorrow we have a March Madness show with all these wonderful people, so make sure you
Oh, my
stay
crystal's on.
tuned.
They're gonna be talking about UConn back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
USA, USA. Sorry.
Anyways. Well, for Cade, Cora, and Ryan, I'm Cassie. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for tomorrow.